and Makesha, and welcome to yet another video with me, Kononkosi. And yes, we are back with another video, Q&A, the Gobela edition. These are questions that I got from my initiates. I think the last time we had a video, because of the noise, like I live in an environment whereby go dula go le busy, so it's really rare to find a spot or a time whereby just quiet unless it's like midnight. But anyways, the first question is, how do you handle being a Gobela and your love life? Wow, that had to be the first question. Listen, it's not easy. It's not easy because I think it made sense why in the olden days it was only bonkoko bagolo ba batona ba ba nnang dingaka, mainly because ba kgona go ikilela, they were not going on their periods, and muila bongaka ke muila in most cases, bona le muila in most cases. I mean, that's why a lot of people haba berekela dilo tsa bone di sa tsamaye sentle. That's why a lot of healers madlozi a bone a jika mo tseleng because of the things that they do that they're not supposed to be doing. So it's quite challenging and it's quite tricky, because being a Gobela, that means you need to literally let go of a lot of things. Try and balance your life in a way that you know, you don't just do things patlalatsa, and there's just a lot at stake. So you need to be with somebody who really understands this and somebody who respects that. Now we are living in a time whereby it's very difficult to get somebody who will stand by your side and support you through and through. I mean, why am I supposed to suffer because of you? It ends up in cheating, and we understand gore kgantsa dikobo comes with a whole lot of spiritual baggage, all of that, because I mean, we meet different people and people do different things and the weirdest of things. So it is very man, you need to, so it's not easy to find somebody who will support you, be by your side, respect the fact that 7 days. See, there are times where you're not supposed to be with them. There are times where you're not supposed to do certain things because you are cleansing people. So obviously you need to be pure. You need to be in a pure state. So that because in order for everything to work out simply, because you understand that we are dealing with things in a spiritual realm. So spiritually you need to be clean, with no blockages, do snacks whereby there's soul ties, there's a whole lot of spirits that's literally hovering around. So love life, man, it's difficult, but I'm thinking I'm at a place in my life where I'm at peace. I'm at a place in my life where I'm at peace, and I'm thinking things are going accordingly as they should. But you can never say never. But I think my choice of a partner has to go with somebody who really understands my journey and somebody who respects my journey, somebody who respects me as an individual, because I'll respect you in return and I'll make sure you understand. So that's that. How do you handle different personalities? It's so difficult because you're dealing with a lot. You're dealing with people's egos, you're dealing with people that love attention, you're dealing with people that you're dealing with people that come from different backgrounds, different situations. So there comes a time where you're just overwhelmed. There comes a time where you're just tired. There comes a time where you just feel like you're drained. But at the end of the day, you need to look at the bigger picture as to urumilwe. You know, it's not about you, it's not about anything. You need to just bring them back to themselves, to actually tell them also, this is how we are going to do things. This is how we are going to try and work together. So you try and make sure you understand every individual, because I mean, we come from different backgrounds. So you try and learn each and every one of them, and then dirisana ka tsela they would understand you ka yone. Because I mean, what works with someone else won't work with the other person. Also with regards to people dealing with a whole lot of things. Now you understand, if somebody's going to a petlo, there's a lot of trauma that is involved. There's a lot of strain, emotional because sometimes it comes with depression, it comes with anxiety. People deal with a whole lot before they can actually come to ipetlo. So tota hela ke go kopa matla mo modimong le badimo, so that whatever task that you're given, you're able to carry it out accordingly. And sometimes I even ask myself, how do I do it? Because it gets so overwhelming to a point that I just feel like, yo, I just can't anymore. But ke leboga the support that I have from my family and my mom with handling certain things. Because I mean, when you're a Gobela, you're training people that are even older than you. You're training people that are way younger than you. That time, I don't have bana myself. So you're dealing with tantrums sometimes because some of them are young. You're dealing with a whole lot. So prayer really keeps me going. Let's help if badimo bampile this, then they will literally carry me through, and they will literally make sure I'm able to handle everything accordingly. So the next question says, does being a Gobela restrict you from certain things? It certainly does. I usually say, how will it Gobela? It's more like watwaza, because like I said, from certain things. You can't be doing dilo patlalata, you can't be doing certain things because o tshwanetse re ilele maeto a bana ba bang, so that o ska ba khotlela, in a sense go ba imetsa mo moyeng and o sa ba direla dilo sentle because you're not pure. So yes, it does restrict you from certain things, especially doing things publicly. Hela so that people can also do the same. I mean, if you don't respect yourself, how do you expect your initiates to respect you? If you're saying they shouldn't do certain things, but yet they question themselves. Why? And the work that you do. I mean, so certain things also need to just go hand in hand, and things just need to align. The combos on to communicate in a way that when people look at you, they don't question a lot. I'm not saying I'm perfect. There are things that I'm gonna be doing, or things that you've seen me do, or you'll find me doing that will not. I mean, at the end of the day, rebato, and I hear bagolo ba re gantse re rata go iphitlha ka the fact that re bana. But we are human at the end of the day. We are allowed to make mistakes, but leka go ipipa boatla and do things that make you happy. Because at the end of the day, bathong re ka se nne badimo mo lefatsheng, re na le badimo, yes, but there are certain things we also need to go through, we also need to experience in order to grow, because it's life. And the decisions that we make might sometimes be against what is said kana melao ya bontata rona mogolo, but we try and act accordingly with this whole journey and what it literally demands from us, because to whom much is given, much is required. So it gets hard. I mean, I can't be clubbing every weekend. You know, I can't be traveling as and when I please, you know, because I have a responsibility. I can't be dating rough, doing things patalaza, you know, saying things patalaza. Some things that you'd say would literally be against who you are and what you represent. So yes, you have to mature before your time, because I mean, you need to align with what bongaka is. And but then with that said, also, we are not perfect as the Gobela. We do make mistakes, and we are bound to make mistakes. It's warranted. We are human at the end of the day. You know? So yes, it does restrict you from certain things. Explain how your life was before becoming a Gobela. Well, because I can't say my life was pretty different, because it was always a thing. And I'd help around. Obviously, I ne ke sokodisa go tlhatlhoba and go berekela, because I just felt like, you know what, I just want to live my life. I traveled a lot. I love being on the road. I'm one person who always spends time alone, you know. Things was like I was always on the radar also, because bishop, you know, people expect you to act a certain way, people expect you to be a certain way. So it's not really that different because it's not like I was wild and I was going out, I was clubbing, I was doing what and what. It's just that the difference is that now I'm a Gobela. Now, I have a duty to act in a certain way and also train people. Mehela, I was literally mohai most of the time. I was not wild. There was never a time I was wild. But obviously, if you want to do certain things, you do them. You'd go out, you'd go on dates, you do whatever. Because I mean, you're just living your life. After all, you're just waiting to understand what do ancestors want from you. So I had more time to myself to do everything that I wanted to do in terms of traveling, going out, meeting out with people, trying certain things out, trying little, like, trying experiences out. So yeah, I wouldn't really say it has changed much, but now it means my time I need to spend more with my initiates, training them, guiding them, being around, making sure that they're doing what is expected of them, and to check the level of growth. Obviously, so yeah. How did you know that you must become a Gobela? Okay, I've known that I had to become a Gobela one time when people started dreaming of me. uh I just push it over. I don't want that for myself, in as much as I really didn't want to be a healer, and I was really respecting of that because my mom is a healer herself, and most of my relatives tota hela re na le neo e ya bo porofeta ya bo ngaka and all of that. I refused when people were like, "Hey, and I was just like, you know what, I'm not ready for that, because I felt like it is a responsibility that I was not ready for at that stage. But things started to become so difficult. And then obviously with my first initiate, I had to lobola with, and I had to come back from Turkey from school because of that also now, because there was just a whole lot of people who were sick and needed my attention. And then Badimo were like, nah, ma'am, it's time to come. It was difficult to accept that. Obviously, my dreams and aspirations had to take a back seat a bit. When you're called for a higher purpose, it's not always about you. You need to put your responsibilities, your duties, especially when you're bongak, and understanding the fact that not everybody or twasising, utla berekela, utla twasis, and all of that. I just felt like, you know what, I'm just one of those people about twasising, and then my life can just go on as normal. But it was just unfortunate. People started dreaming of me. More people, people would come to my house and say they dreamt of me and wara 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 ditaelo. That's when I knew Koreano. It's starting to kalang and So yeah. How do you deal with your initiates problems while you're also dealing with your own? That I really don't know. It gets really overwhelming. But I think, like I said, hamudima hufile neong kana hufile a certain task. You are equipped with everything that you need to be able to carry it through. So I try and manage my stress and try and, sit down and see how I'm going to work things out, because some of the problems that they have are the problems that I've experienced myself when I was growing. Some of the challenges are life challenges that they come across, and apparently, so I just find the right words to say. I don't know how that happens. I just know what to do. Sometimes I just find myself very shocked as to how did I manage that? How did I handle that? Sick initiates, maybe sometimes the initiate has to be in hospital, you have to be there. The stress. Tapelo literally will pull you through a lot of things. I really don't want to lie, because sometimes remakes, when sometimes we talk to the same people that go about and make life even difficult for us, talk about our problems. I don't really have close friends whereby I get to talk to them about my life problems. I get to talk about stuff. My sister is my friend. I'm always mostly alone, if not with my initiates, or I'm just home. So I write a lot, and I think that helps. And I listen to sermons. You know what? I listen to music. Music is just therapy to my soul. And now another coping mechanism is gym. When I'm really overwhelmed, when I'm really stressed, I go to gym. And then when I come back, at least I'm in a good set of mind. And I travel. There's a time when things are not really hectic, I take time out to where there's no Togozani Baba, Togozani Mkulu, where there's no stories, and then when I just feel like, I just need to recuperate, stress. do things on my own. Mostly I'll solo travel, or with people, or whatever the case may be. And then, yeah, just take time out, ke ikrerege, ke nagane, ke robale, rest, go on an adventure, do things that I've always wanted to do, go out. So, yeah. Do you ever wish you have never become a Gobela? There are days like that where you just feel like, hey, mboshiwe, guys, my age mates are really far with life. This is where I could have been. This is that. But matsatsi a hatle ka go tshwana, just like seasons. It's seasonal. There are times where you feel like key mates, I'm just given a big task that I can't do myself. That sometimes I just wonder, when do I get a break? Because I hardly rest. I'm always on the road. Ke a bereka. How to mona ke di-patient, after the patients ke di go ke your initiates, after this is stress, people needing advice, people consultations. So it gets too much, your own life, your own stresses, and so there comes a time where you just feel like, how would life be if I really didn't have all these other responsibilities, of all these other things to do? Wishing like you just live your life the way you'd want to, like other people, just wake up and do whatever you want to do, just go crazy, go wild, and nobody holds you accountable for it. Or you don't even have to plan or think. Just be spontaneous, and do whatever you want to do. Go away for some time and not really have so many responsibilities of taking care of people, guiding people, whereby you also feel like you're still needing guidance. I'm still being guided as well. I can't say I know everything, as much as I've got experience with being a healer, but you can never be a pro in this. You can only have experience. It gets so hectic to a point where you just like, oh my God, no, I really can't. But yeah, I'm really grateful for Dino Zamwa, because they continue to show me gore Modimo tota is part and parcel of my gifts, in terms of people healing, people finding answers of things that they never knew how to go about. And you will always be in a position to make people millionaires when you are struggling to become one, get people jobs when you are struggling to get one. So it's just refreshing when it happens, ukuthi you seeing them grow from coming here but so vulnerable, so weak, so scared, and then they grow into being so powerful and sure of themselves and their ancestors. It really, the transition is really beautiful. Though there's hard work, tears, or overwhelming situations where you just like, oh my God, I really can't anymore. Where you just feel like, you know what, but yeah, like I said, I'm really grateful for the support from my family and from my mom. I really don't know. What were your life plans before to us and becoming a Gobela? Well, initially I wanted to become a mechanical engineer, but obviously things changed, because we had lost a science teacher who really, really made me fall in love with physics. So I had to make a plan, because my teacher for quite some time. I realized I changed the stream, went into media, fell in love with radio, and I think my life was always redirecting. And I've always believed that we are and we can do so many things that I've always wanted to actually explore my life and the talents and the skills that I have, because I believe realize. But I just wanted to be this powerhouse, where people I just wanted to be good. I wanted to be a businesswoman, thrive, and be good at what I do in everything, successful and all of that. I just saw myself being an entrepreneur, thriving in everything. But I went into media, and obviously things are not always as merry like you'd expect them to be. But also Badimo came through and felt like, you know what, baby girl, this is your route, this is where we want you. But I'm really doing many other things on the side, going back into studying as well. So yeah, man, I'm really excited about what's to come, and letting the space between where I am and where I want to be inspire me, because delay does not mean denied. And the story of being abroad and having to come back because of Badimo was not easy. I didn't really understand what was going on at that point, but I just felt like, you know what, God, if this is you also, hey man, like what can I say? We make plans but you decide. So yeah. Which phase is the hardest for an initiate ephehlweni from ukugatshelwa to ulanga lokufa, and how do you support an initiate during the period? Well, every stage of an initiate's journey is hard because you're introduced to something new and you're supposed to do it in a certain way. Just the same as Bati Kipidlos, you know, sometimes they don't understand how to do it. They don't understand Idlozilabo. You need to make sure that you take them through that process of understanding Idlozilabo, what their ancestors are about, how do they come, how do they feel the changes on the body, and knowing who they are, who they represent, what are they about, Idlozilabo, understanding it perfectly, what does it want and what does it demand, and how do they go about it, and growth within that and understanding the difference. So making sure that they focus on the good ones and making sure that they understand their purpose. So it is very difficult, but because it works differently with people, some people slow, fast, and sometimes it takes longer than expected with different initiates, and also the bad discourage, they feel like I'm here and nothing seems to be happening. It's so frustrating. I go through the emotions with them, the stress and all of that. So every phase is not easy, but it would depend with each and every individual as an initiate. Would see how do they understand things and how they receive things, and how do they actually grow within the entire process. How do you handle communication from the different ancestors of all your initiates? Since they come in different forms and communicate differently, how do you handle all of that? Well, I think the channel of communication is not that hectic. I mean, it comes with like sidimo le badimo and how they come, and understanding each and every individual and what they come with and what are they about. So communication it will come through forms through dreams where you're being told about a certain initiate, visions, seeing certain things. I mean, it's a thing in you just find yourself in communication with their different ancestors, and obviously they also communicate through them. And you just need to understand and how the different forms and the kinds of ways they come in. So I think it would make sense, but it would make sense to somebody who and would really understand what I'm saying. Do you receive any support from your family? Big time, big time. I'm really blessed because it's not easy. Not everybody gets to get that support. Sometimes we don't believe in that. And I'm glad that I'm going through a journey of people that understand what ancestors are about, the whole journey, and everything in between. Although sometimes I feel like they don't understand the emotions that I go through. And obviously, you know, other things that they can't really do much about it. They can just be there for you, and you just have to go through it yourself. So it's just one of those. Okay, my sister is really very supportive. My mom also, because I mean, she needs to guide me. So most of the things delegate that, you know, okay, you need to do this and do that. It's so much sometimes whereby you just feel like you're so swamped. You have to bite so much that you have to chew at the same time. Gets so frustrating when you just feel like, yo, my life is just washing away, guys. I don't know if I'm wild. I don't know if I like this, because the moment I opened my eyes, there was a calling, and then there was a Lefetlho, and there was that, and then already you're restricted from doing certain things. So you're not already used to doing certain things. When you're in certain spaces, you feel so lost. When I go out, I just feel like, I don't know, maybe an hour or two is enough. Because you pick up on energies and all of that. So I'm really grateful for the family that I have. And it's not easy. Sometimes it's frustrating because you just feel like they're not supporting you in a way that you want to be supported, or you feel that you need to be supported. But I'd be lying and if I said I don't get the support. Have you lost friendships, relationships due to being a Gobela? Yo, that is the last question. Not even due to being a Gobela. I think I've kept quiet about my journey for the longest of time. I think I spoke a lot about it on the first video that we had on Leto, which had to be deleted for certain reasons. But my journey was not easy. I started being a healer at a time whereby it was not popular to do so. Like it is compared to what it is right now, whereby badimo ba ipatla because they've realized gore re tshela sekgowa. So it's so much to say that a lot of things go wrong and there's a lot of healers because go ikilela is a problem. People just do patlalatsa, dilo patlalatsa. People want to be seen. People want to be praised. People want to do magic. And people want to control matshelo a batho through bongaka, which is very weird. People are using muti on people. People are doing the weirdest of things. People are sacrificing. And boloi tota, you don't need to be a healer. Okay, cool. I'm so random. I don't know how I got there. But yes, I've lost friends, especially when I started coming out with my gift. I've always been a healer. It's just that I was so embarrassed of it. And with that being said, my ancestors also were embarrassed of me. I'm thinking because things always went south when I needed their help. Because you can't always want somebody's help when you want it. But when you don't do things the way it needs to be done, people are gonna judge me, people are gonna look down on me, people are gonna start spreading stuff about me, the whole stigma that goes with being ngaka at a very young age and still trying to understand what is this gift about, what is expected of me, am I still gonna live the life that I want, So obviously we believe in different things as people, and people would relate to you in different ways, and sometimes people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So yes, people were not understanding. Obviously, how Twasisa, you can't be in every function. You can't go to funerals or with certain things because there's certain procedures and rituals that need to be done. So some people don't really understand. You lose people along the way. You can't be going out all the time as much as your friends would want you to be with them. You can't do certain things. You have to be more 7 days of prayer, 7 days 7 days of not doing certain things. You can't go on trips as and when you please. There's certain things that you need to do by the book. And some people just don't understand that. And unless so in most cases you have with friends that don't really understand, they don't understand you when certain things happen. Some don't even believe in what you believe in, and that is perfectly fine, and you respect that. So some people were just like, not that side of life, and no, I'm not even about that. Yo ngaka, and everybody's allowed to feel the way they feel, and people are allowed to actually want to not be your friend. There were friends where I felt like I was overextending, so I had to just literally nag it because I could just see this friendship was not leading anywhere. It's just causing me pain, or I've lost relationships, yes, to a point whereby, like I said when I started this vlog, there's sometimes a part where somebody would feel like you're coming with excuses all the time. You hardly have time to go out. You hardly have time for cuddles. You hardly have time to bond with your partner. You hardly have time to do certain things. There's a period whereby you need to refrain from certain things. From certain things in terms of being pure because of what you have to do or and all of that. So ke the 7 days some partners don't understand that. It's either wa cheatiwa, and obviously nakong o irwa sethegiswa wa go a sebiwa gore mang o itha gore ke mang he motho ga next thing go biwa ka wena, next thing there's just soul ties all in the mix, go intersections go tlhakatlhakane sedimo sa gago ga se rate wa tlhakatlhakana wo tlala leswe spiritually, and you can't do certain things like you're supposed to, or usitela badimo usitela modimo. Certain things, certain rituals, certain ceremonies they need you in a certain way, in a certain position. So ha di go hitlela o le leso tlhakatlhakane and ulwala spiritually mo moyeng gore o dula o se sharpo because of things that are being said, o dula o khopisegile because of rumors, o dula o khopisegile because of the give and take, di dialogue tse dintsintsi tsa go sekisiwa, tsa go seka ditshele, tsa go seka di relationship, mang o jola le mang wa go founela kopo jwa mo moraga mang. Well, that has never happened with me. I'm not even trying to act all goody two shoes. We go through things. We do things that we are not proud of. We go through things. It's a phase you need to grow from. We experience life. We are here to just, Ha gona manual a botshelo mme hela yes, I've lost friends, I'm still losing friends. So yes, I've lost relationships. Then it gets you know what, God, pula ka mazulu ke a goroga. Yeah. So it's also just a thing ya gore we don't believe in the same things. We don't we are not growing, we are not filling each other's cups, we are not compatible. Dumalani, we are not speaking one language. Some relationships is just our friendships just like it's not serving me anything. So let me just, vie. And yeah, it's very difficult to have really honest and genuine people in your corner, mainly because ra bontshiwa ra lora bathong. In as much as you love somebody, you always dream about them if your ancestors just feel like this person is not for you, even though it's not things that you've seen or or caught them red-handed, or things that you can feel, touch, or see, or you've seen with your own eyes. You will see them in your dreams. People that don't have genuine intentions with you, you will see them. So with that said, leeto la bongaka is not easy, and bongaka has a career, guys. Let's try, and because it starts building to greed, where people charge about to ridiculous amounts of money because they're trying to live. Standards of living is very high, and Botsolo, we are living in a very hectic time right now whereby everything is expensive, and we are just trying to get by. You also want to enjoy certain things, the certain luxuries, but you can't just you want to just sit and say ke bereka tlhatlhobo every day, and then o simolla o ira dilo tse di tswileng mo tseleng, unless you're doing other things on the side to put food on the table. But a re tseneng sekolo bagaetsho, a re bueng le badimo ba re buleleng re kgone go dira other things, go into business, on all of that, so that we balance this life out. In as much as we don't have much time, try and balance life out, because you can't just do so one every day. It gets so hard, it gets so tiring, overwhelming, and exhausting, so, and frustrating. So you really try to balance botshelo out the way and the best way you know how. We are not perfect. Batho ba dula ba re tshwaretse di-red pen monna ba re maka ba lebetse gore re mo lehatsheng le rona, and ga re badimo, guys. Re na le badimo mare ga re badimo. There are certain things that we'll do even though we know that we are not supposed to do them, but because we are human. And not to say ki ipata ka dilo tse di snacks, where people are just doing the weirdest of things, all in the name of being human, and le gore yeah, no, this is me, what can I say? So yeah, thank you, man, for the love. Thank you for the support. It's not been easy. I'm seeing your messages, I'm seeing your DMs, the love, the support with my Leto merchandise, and I'm sorry that I'm not wearing any. I had to do laundry. So yeah, man, leeto la bonkgono le bontatemoholo is not easy, guys. And in as much as it's been years, every day I'm just like, you know, that to say, dude, really? Are you really cut out for this? It's difficult. It needs you to pray. It needs you to be sure of who you are, what you represent, and what you're about. People are gonna talk. People are gonna spread lies. People are gonna plot. And the moment you start being loved by everyone, that's when you know, no, it comes with a lot of problems, that one. Some people will try and compete with you. Some people will try and be you. Some people will be jealous of you. Just the aura that you know. And you can't please everyone. You can't make everyone happy. I can't help everyone. This is not Harry Potter. I like saying that. All credit goes to Modimo le Badimo Baka, because I mean, I don't really have that might to do a lot. Mehela, it's not easy. We are trying day by day to keep our head above the water. It comes with a lot of challenges, a lot of strain, a lot of pain. We hear a lot of things that we are human. We go through a lot of situations that we put a hela Modimo le Badimo. But really, after so much that I've literally had to give up, really. But these are things that you need to use to grow. When they throw you with stones, you build a house. Love and life to everybody who's still trying to figure themselves out. You just recently found out you have a gift, you don't know how to go about it, your family is not supportive, you don't know where to start, you don't know where to go. There's a lot of us. Some people are seeing this as an opportunity to make money. I just pray that you find the right people. I just pray that badimo ba gago, they lead you to the right place. You're at the verge of giving up. Hang on. Modimo le badimo ba ka se go fe mokgwele o ka se go kgona gore o jare. Stay prayed up. Tshepa mo modimong le badimo. They will fight for you. There are certain things that you just need to give to God and your ancestors and say, you know what? You can't fight every battle that comes your way, because the one that needs your power and your might to do so. So yes, guys, give us a hug. We are going through a lot. We are going through the most, but we still try and not look up like our problems, the stresses we go through. Shame. The pity party. You're called for a purpose. Live up to it and just ask them, and if you really are called, everything will fall into place, and things will fall into place when it's the right time and accordingly. Yes, it doesn't mean Gobela yes, there are the Gobelas but not everybody o tla twasisa. People want to compete with their Gobelas. You find me flourishing, you find me at a point where I'm flourishing, you don't know my story and where I'm from. It took me years before I could get to where I'm at right now in healing. So be patient with yourself, be patient with your journey. It is not easy, it is difficult, it hurts. You're going to be dragged. People are going to talk about you. You're going to be misunderstood. People are going to spread lies on your name. People will not be happy with you. You will help people that will go and gossip about you. You will help people that will want you down. You will help people that tomorrow you will help people that will deny thuso ya gago tomorrow. You will help people that will drag your name tomorrow. O tla thusa batho ba wine dilotho wena o sa itse. O tla thusa batho ba kry mmereko wena o sokola go kry. Just say to modimo le badimo, wena nkosi o yazi. Kwena modimo, kwena qalo le qetello, thato a ebe ya gago. Hela ha o rena ho lokile. Nthomme mosebetsi ke go sebeletse. Ha e ka nkimela, dumela o ntlatse. Le go sitweng ga ka o intshwarele. Le mengwe a emeng tlhoeng, ha go bona a phele. Carry yourself in a way that you don't need to be perfect. Ska nakare every day you need to be you need to be. No. Make mistakes, grow from them, live your life and learn from it. I respect people that learn from their mistakes and grow from them. Don't want to be perfect. No one is. And don't speak ill of people just for your own selfish reasons. Don't drag people for nonsense. And don't look down on anyone, because only God stands that high. We are struggling in different ways. There's many forms of poverty that we are experiencing on a daily. I really hope that God fills your cup and that you are recharged all the time. So Thokozani Maketla, thank you so much for the love. Thank you for the support. Listen, if there were no people ba eleng gore ba tlhoka thuso ya ka be ke se foketeng, and ka matla hela modimo le badimo, we keep going through it all, against all odds, through the storms, through everything else. Bongaka is beautiful. The different gifts are really so beautiful, and how gifted people are is really beautiful, and realizing the gifts that initiates have, and different people, abumfobe, to the people that we went ukthwasanabo. It's so beautiful what God has given us. And it's unfortunate that people expect a lot from us because we are chosen, we are special beings and all of that. But at the end of the day, we also bleed when we are being cut. We have a responsibility to take care of God's people. So don't judge. Don't speak too much about what you don't know and don't understand. So Thokozani Maketla, I shall definitely see you on the flip side. Do not forget that Leto also has a podcast that is available on all digital platforms. If you're starting your journey, you don't know how to go about it, go and search Leto, The Journey with Kaone. It's there on Spotify, it's there on Apple Podcasts. Listen, Anchor. And yeah, let's do this. I shall definitely see you on the next video. Thokozani Maketla.